Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back. I am Van, and we are all the LFR family. Now, if you're not already with the family, please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button for me. All right, the reason why I'm coming to y'all right now is because I just now stumbled upon a video. And the video is not something that I'm going to react to. Why? Because I don't know if I'll be able to get this passed without receiving any type of repercussions, because what I'm about to say might not be friendly to the channel that have posted it. Now, I'm not trying to say anything disrespectful to the gentlemen who are having the conversation. They are having a conversation about Candace Owens, and they're talking to a gentleman by the name of Rizza Islam. And Rizza Islam is an extremely respected young man, young black man. He's in the Nation of Islam, and he's respected mostly in the African American community. He makes sure that he put African Americans before anything, which is dope. Thank you for making sure you take up that mantle and try and hold our people accountable, but hold other people accountable as well. But the reason why I'm talking to y'all right now is because they brought up Candace Owens. They asked this gentleman, Rizza Islam, if he has ever heard back from Candace Owens people. Apparently, he reached out to Candace Owens for a debate. He wanted to talk to her. He wanted to have a debate of some sort. But the rhetoric that comes after this, because the host of the show asked him, have you heard back from Candace Owens and his people, her people yet? And that's where this picture right here comes from. Once he asked that, everyone in the room started laughing, because they're like, ha ha ha, Candace Owens do not want to talk to me because I am essentially a real black man. And Candace Owens does not care to talk to real black men who care about the black community. Let me tell you something. I didn't used to like Candace Owens, and that was before I was introduced to her. I didn't like her because the black community didn't like her. I didn't like her because she was being canceled by the black community, not the entire black community, but the black community on the left. I didn't find that out until later, until I started looking into her. And she started giving me so many facts about what's going on in this country that I started freaking taking notes, man. I don't ever react to anybody and take notes. Candace Owens is probably one of the only people, probably, I would say, between her and Thomas Sowell and Jordan Peterson, the only people that I literally took notes while reacting to them. Took notes, man. You talking about somebody that do not like school whatsoever. Whatsoever. All right. But I liked it enough to make sure that my kids respected and knew the power of education. All right. I dropped out of high school. I dropped out of college after before my first year, because I got my wife pregnant, and I wanted to make sure I worked full time so that my children do not ever see a day without their dad in the home and their mom together. I did that, and I made sure my wife went back to school, and I took over a lot of the woman duties of cooking, dropping the kids off. Yeah, I even did my daughter hair before she went to school, daycare and all that other stuff, and many different things. But anyway, back to the reason why I'm posting this video. This is not a reaction. I want y'all to know that right now. This is me letting these gentlemen know that Candace Owens ain't scared of y'all. Candace Owens is not afraid to talk to any one of you. None of you. But what you're about to hear right now is this gentleman saying pretty much that the reason why she might not want to talk to him is because he might set her straight as one of the only black men that she will ever talk to who truly know who he is as a black man and truly care about black people, which Candace Owens does not. And I have a whole book of notes to say why she does. Why she is trying to hold Black America accountable, why she is taking up the mantle and don't care about her daggone reputation being ruined. And it's not being ruined because she's choosing a dollar over Black community. It's not being ruined because she's choosing the white man and the white man's plan over the Black community. That's not it at all. But unfortunately, what happens is, if you speak against a certain side and you're not accepting of the things that that certain side is accepting of, then you are immediately considered an enemy of that side for some strange reason. But what these gentlemen need to understand is that the exact same thing that they're trying to do to Candace Owens by trying to put her down and talk about another leader of not only the black community, but of this country. She's a leader of this country. She just so happens to be black. But apparently, since she's sleeping with the enemy, being that she's married to a white man, she's married to a white man, so she's sleeping with the enemy. And because she's sleeping with the enemy, she can't possibly be for Black America. I think that's complete garbage that you guys will put that out there in the atmosphere, because people listen to you, people respect you. I think that's irresponsible of you to even say that. But because you represent what you represent and you stand for what you stand for, and you have the understanding that you have because you seem extremely studious, extremely intelligent, and been in the Nation of Islam, the teachings do not support what the living, the way that Candace lives. Don't support that. And I'm trying to be politically correct by saying this. I just think that it's complete garbage, because I am a proud black man. I am. No bull. Anybody that talked to my kids, anybody that's ever met me face to face, anybody that has ever had a conversation with me will understand that I put people who look like me before anything. But guess what? I just expanded the way I think, and I understand. I understand a little different. Even before I started doing videos online, before I started doing reactions, which, to be honest with y'all, everybody that's watching this right now, my opinion will not be respected by them at all. If this video ever came across their table, they won't respect this opinion. Why? Because they would think that I'm just like Candace. I've sold out to the white community. I sold out to the white people. I'm making sure I put you all before I put them, which is complete BS. Complete BS. But they will just look at my internet background, but they will not look at my personal background. My personal background of me actually growing up in those same communities, me actually being those same young men that was always in trouble, always. But I respected my lady enough, the one that I met in high school when I was 15 years old, going to one of the baddest high schools in Washington, D.C. and Southeast. And she showed me so much love that I made my decision up to make sure that she had a good life, no matter what I had to do. All right? So just because there's differences of opinions, or there's a different way that someone attack a situation, does not mean that simply because your way is not their way, that y'all are enemies. It should not be that way. But unfortunately, that's what it is. I'm about to play a little bit of this for you all, and I'm gonna give y'all my opinion afterward. But this right here, I don't know, man. I feel some type of way about it. I really do, but I'm not even going to waste any more time. Let's listen to some of it.
She needs a good conversation
with a black man.
She needs one,
like a black man who loves the black woman.
Yeah, she needs one.
That sister, she's sharp.
Yeah, she's really smart,
dangerously sharp.
You hear that, right? They do acknowledge that she's extremely intelligent. She is sharp. She is sharp. But listen to this.
Because she's being used by the enemy.
Yeah.
But now she's being humbled slightly. It happened a number of times. One of the times is when she had her baby by the man, her husband that she's with. And the comments went off. Talking about
when she had a baby by the white man, everybody was against that. That was on the left. That was black. That was on the left. And they like, whoa, wait a minute. You said that you cared about the black community. Why you out there having babies with the white man? What they probably call him something else, but yeah.
About a child and all that, because you've been talking about a lot of our black children who were murdered, talking about them like they were dogs. and now that energy came back to you. So she cut the comments off, stuff like that, and then a lot of other things were happening. But so the facts that she gives, there has to be a level of compassion. So no, they haven't reached out to me to answer your question. But if they did, I would respond. I wouldn't mind sitting down and having a discussion with her because one, I'm a black man that actually knows he's a black man.
Yeah.
Hold up, I want to touch on this too. Candace Owens was talking about black people like they were dogs. Please send me that information. Anyone, send me some information where Candace Owens was talking about black people like they were dogs. I do understand the times where she was talking about black people who were committing heinous crimes in their own communities against their own people. And she was talking about black people who were committing crimes against good business owners, whether they was black, white, or other. And she was trying to hold them accountable. But I want to hear both sides. Like, if you have that information of Candace Owens talking about black people like dogs, send it to me. Either email it to me, hit me up in my DM with it on IG or whatever. Join my Facebook group, and you can post it up in there if you want. Like, hey, I'm the type of person, I'm not beholden to anyone. Like, I'm not signed up, or I'm not blood in, blood out with anybody any side. Right now, I'm about good and bad, and that's it. Good versus bad, and I'm on the side of good. Family, God, country. That's what it is. So, because, and I'm gonna get back into it.
and I'm bold about that.
Right.
You know, as we all are, but also at the same time, I don't bow to white supremacy nor anyone who works on behalf of it.
He don't bow to white supremacy nor anyone who works on behalf of white supremacy.
You married a white man, understand there's a certain way I'm going to handle you.
When you marry a white man, there's a certain way I'm going to handle you. Because you married into white supremacy.
She did. So therefore, you have a bias. You can't confront the system of white supremacy because you're sleeping with it.
Yeah, you right in it.
So therefore, and that's out of respect. I say this respectfully.
I respectfully say to you that you cannot speak on behalf of our people with regard to racism and white supremacy, because you have married into white supremacy and you are operating and functioning with a bias. Here's the thing. Her children are black. According to olden days, according to olden times, all right, according to olden times, and it's probably still written somewhere. Me, I'm just now learning about the Constitution and all that other stuff. I never paid attention to it, never cared to pay attention to it. Got to a point in my life where I figured, Van, you need to grow the hell up. So I'm starting to look into it now. People are sending me books from everyone, and even my communication is becoming a little better because I've been reading my ass off. Ha! But here's the thing. When you were a slave back in the day, and, well, I won't even say a slave. Well, back there in the slave times, if someone was to have a baby with a black person, or a white person was to have a baby with a black person, and there was 1% of black blood in that baby, they were now dropped from if their parents, grandparents, or anybody passed away and they left some land or all those other things behind, if the kid was mixed, they could not get that land. Sometimes. Feel free to correct me. I don't mind being wrong. I'm one of them people that I'm not running for office. So I don't care about all that. I just don't want to intentionally disrespect anyone, because I don't want myself nor my family to be intentionally disrespected. Does that make sense? If it doesn't make sense, then cool. But that's just who I am. But I don't always have the proper information. All right. So based off what he's saying, she married into it. she is now a part of racism, white supremacy, because she now signed up for it. She's beholden to white people because she has a white husband, and she's being paid by white America. She does not have any love for the black community, and I'm certain there are thousands, probably even millions of black people who will say otherwise, who would definitely say otherwise. And I just so happen to be one of them. And when my daughter, my oldest daughter, who's 25 years old, fully black, my wife is black. I just had to point that out just in case y'all didn't know. She used to have her own YouTube channel as well. She used to do videos with me. You can see her in some of my older videos if you want to see it. But she was a fan of Candace Owens, and she had certain thoughts like Candace Owens had, which was against certain things that the black culture represented. And she used to say certain things about that on Twitter, and many people would go against her and try to shut her down because she had these individual thoughts. That was about accountability. That was about, if you don't want this to happen, then you shouldn't do this. It's A and B. That's how you get C. That's how you get to C. And a lot of people didn't want to hear that because a lot of people wanted to race in the Victim Olympics. A lot of people wanted to take that badge of, we've been enslaved. We are the people that don't have a land that we can go back to. We are only called black. They named us Negro, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. We the only people with two names in our name, African American, but we don't belong to Africa and we don't belong to America, blah, blah, blah. So whenever she corrected someone, she would catch the short end of it. And that is an issue. And that's the same thing that these gentlemen are doing to Candace Owens. And that right there, it gets on my nerves a bit. That's it. It just gets on my nerves, man. I would love, oh my gracious, I would love for Candace Owens to have a conversation with these individuals, because these individuals are some of the same people who believe that T.I., the rapper, really shut Candace Owens down when she was on a panel with him, all because he got loud and was saying little ridiculous things. And he did not. And I used to love T.I.'s music. I used to listen to T.I. all the time. I didn't stop listening to him because of his political views. Nah, not at all. I just stopped listening to T.I. You know, you grow out of certain people's music. Now, when some of his music comes on from back in the day that I used to like, I play it. I love it. But other than that, some people need to, stick to what they know. If all you can do is a two-step, do that. And if you learn another move, do that. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, when somebody's whole entire life is about uplifting the people, I just don't see why we would take time out of our day to shut her down or to shut him down. So Rizza Islam, I pray that Candace Owens accepts your invitation to have a conversation, because it's not going to go down the way that you probably think it will. I just hope it's a good one. I pray it's a good one. And I hope you both take the opportunity to make things better for the whole and not try to shut each other down, not try to take one another out with verbal rhetoric. Who wants to hear that? Yeah, it's good to debate. You get all of your thoughts out that you've researched on both sides, and you make it clear where you stand. But there's always a center. There's always a middle. You know what I mean? There's always a commonality. That's where we need to be. That's how we will get across to both sides and pull them both toward positive movement, upward mobility, if you want to say. And just be done with the BS, man. That's how I feel 1000%.